Welcome, everyone. So, today I want to tell you a little bit about what happens during a session, mechanisms of healing and transformation. Every session is a little different depending on the person's goals and needs, but here we'll focus on the removal of destructive elements and processes of restoration. So, a cleansing and restoration session where the main work is typically the same: stopping negative processes and starting positive processes to restore your field structure. Let's have a clear understanding of what is being done and what to expect. So the first step is you send me your selfie. I take a look at the selfie, or if we work in person, I take a look at you, access your informational bank, information about you. I made a video about this so that you understand how that works. And focus on the things that are interesting to me, which is the state of your physical and mental health. And I look at especially at things like presence of internal and external energy informational damages and disturbances. What negatively influences and affects a person? What external and internal factors are in conflict with the person? What was done to a person? So we identify presence of external energy damage, negative programs, channels, entities, presence of any magic on you or your lineage and your ancestry, negative influences, anything done against the person's will, any traps, any cages that were put on the person physically and mentally, spiritually. So during the session, everything gets removed and typically sent back to where it came from. And then we start processes of restoration. So once all of the external damage is gone, then we can start restoring the field structure of the person. We focus restoring the chakras, the central channel, the energy shells, the entire field structure of the person. So I'll remove everything that was done to a person against their will, sometimes without their knowing, and start positive processes to help a person restore, to help them return back to harmony and balance. And some of the most common questions are, what do I need to do? What will I feel? Do I need to prepare in any way? The answer is simple. Everyone is different. Some people are under very severe energy informational damages and the things that were done to them. Others are so used to being under pressure that they don't even notice it and are used to it. And before we begin, I'm typically in touch with the person and I'll let them know when we start. And I usually say all you have to do is just sit straight with your feet on the floor. You can slightly lean back and relax. Pay attention to the breathing, pay attention to sensations in your body and around you. It's okay if you don't feel anything, because sometimes when there's trauma, the fourth chakra gets locked and the person loses sensations with their physical body. But it doesn't mean that the work is not being done. It doesn't mean that positive processes are not being done. A person may feel warmth, waves of warmth, or tingling, or various sensations. They can vary, and there's no point of describing them because they're different for everyone. But the point is, yes, you may experience sensations and feelings, emotions, certain states, and it's okay if you don't feel anything at all. I will let you know what's happening at the end of the session, what was done, and what we still need to do, if anything. The work does not depend on physical sensations or what you feel or don't feel. My goal is to always make a very careful and gentle influence so that there's no expression of negative energies that were stuck, is to gently carry them out. But depending on how severe the damage is, yes, there may be an expression of that. Maybe tears, maybe laughter, maybe joy, maybe some sadness. You may experience and remember some episodes from your past, and that's normal. Whatever happens during the session, it's exactly the way it's supposed to be. You can even lie down and fall asleep, as many do. The work will take place, and I let a person know when I'm done. And then I can check if any more sessions are needed, what we still need to do, if anything. I'll give you things I recommend and the steps you can take. So at the end of the session, ideally you want to feel a little bit more calmer, a little bit more grounded, more clear-headed, more everything is correct the way it should be. Ideally feeling like you take a fresh breath of air, that Yes, everything is good. But again, everyone deals with different and individual problems and severity of energy informational damages. And it may take a day, two, three, sometimes longer before you start noticing change in you and the situations around you. After the session, you can continue with your day as normal, but you need to understand that if later that day you go to a club or a bar or start interacting with some strangers who themselves are under extreme damage and disturbances, chances are you will come under imbalance once again. So give some time for yourself. If I gave you Reiki or you have any of my flows, enter a meditative state. Turn your attention inwards. Give your body and your mind what they're starving for. It's always more valuable to redirect your attention inwards instead of giving it to some stranger at a club or a bar, or some situations will give you nothing. Your inner world, your organs, every little cell, millions of cells live and die every day so that you can go on. They are your best friends. And we weren't taught from early childhood, how important it is and how valuable it is and how to properly redistribute attention within ourselves, in our world, and giving to our body, giving it to our mind. We weren't taught how truly valuable attention is for our bodies and our minds. Let's be honest, friends. More and more people are learning and practicing how to negatively influence, affect, control, and dominate over other people. They use rituals, magic, spells, information they learn online or someone else is teaching them. But that is the reality of our world. Some people destroy and some people create. That is the reality of our energy informational world. And in my experience, most of the problems begin at the energy informational layers. And if you booked a session, then you already know that something's not right. I typically don't list everything I see unless a person really asks, but the mission is simple. During a session, remove all of the external damages and disturbances. Remove all of the cages, traps, limitations, everything that was put on a person to hold him within certain confines, to influence her, take away his freedom of will, freedom of choice. Everything gets removed and typically gets sent to everyone who's responsible for doing this. Then restore you, make you whole, restore your field structure, because only then can real transformation, real growth and development begin. Otherwise, a person will hit the limits that were imposed on him and not be able to go further than that. Only way that'll happen is if a master, a person who's stronger, can remove those problems. Otherwise, a person will always hit that ceiling and they can't do anything about it themselves. This is very important to understand. Most people think they're free of external pressure, but unless a person very actively works on themselves, knows how to start processes of cleansing, knows how to start processes of protection and defense, of transformation, of removal of disturbances, chances are, one way or another, a person is most likely under one form of another external damage and disturbance. And they come in all sorts of forms and types, and no reason to start listing them until you have power to be able to remove them. If you come and I can give you at least a master set of Cosmo energy where start teaching you, showing you, here's how you identify negative channel, here's how you identify a ritual, this is what you can do. This right here, you cannot do. This is where I need to tune in and help you. And this is how you start restoring your chakras, this is how you start working with your organs, this is how you start processes of repair of your field structure. This is how you look for a problem, and this is how you can try to look for a solution. Sometimes people carry external damage for years and lifetimes. They usually don't have someone who can remove it. And serious damage can cause very sudden collapse of a person, or very slow, very gradual decline in physical and mental health, from black streak in life where there's bad luck, right? Everything you do, all of a sudden, panic and anxiety and fear and loss of consciousness, and all sorts of special effects can happen to a person who's under the influence. They can be done so carefully that person doesn't notice what's happening. They think everything is normal, but their potentials are being stolen. And it's really a cause to celebrate if you have someone who you can come to and say, something is wrong, I need help. Because most people just say they can help, but not many people can actually help. And the people who can work on those levels are very few and far in between. So I'll remove everything that was done to you, and I'll start processes to help you restore your field structure. But I cannot tell you how long it will last, how long the state of balance, harmony, and integrity will last. It could last a year, it could last a month, a week, a day, or 2 hours. I don't know who you interact with. I don't know who's around you. I don't know if someone in your family uses negative power to influence or control you. I don't know if it's a coworker or someone you met in a coffee shop or someone you passed by on the street who, for whatever reason, didn't like you. Anyone who's stronger than you, anyone who has power, they are stronger than you and they can negatively influence you, and vice versa. If someone has positive power, they can remove that influence and help you restore and lift you up so that you can also grow. We interact with different people who have their own agendas and their own ideas about each other and their own ideas about you, and we interact with systems and various egregorial structures. This is why we have attunements, retreats, seminars, and courses, so that you can learn how to cleanse yourself, how to start processes of removing negative informational damages, how to begin identifying them, how to start processes of accumulating energies and potentials, how to begin repairing your field structure, how to restart your chakras. Instead of just saying, I'm aligning my chakras, you understand. You learn to see them, you learn to work with them, you learn to fill them with potential, restart them, adjust the little petals within each chakra, what each one is responsible for. All of this matters. It's two kinds of work when you say, I'm aligning my chakras by listening to music, versus you activate proper tools, proper systems, proper power, and start working with your field structure. Not on belief, not I'm imagining my chakras are aligning, but I show you, this is where you put your hands, this is how you activate, this is how you stop negative programs within the chakra, this is how you restart the chakra, here's how you fill it with potential. See this is a problem, this is how you remove it, this is what you do with this is what you do with that. This is a different kind of work, friends, and unless you know how to start these processes, unless you know how to start processes of repairing your meridians, your central channel, how to transform potentials, how to build protection and defense mechanisms. I can build you a mechanism of protection, but it will depend on your growth and development. Now, if you come and I give you these tools and I start teaching you and showing you, here's how you build them, this is how you do this is how you do that, you can also start building them within yourself. So between what I can do for you, what you can do for you, that's a different kind of work, friends. This is real work, real transformation, real growth and development. How to identify what you can deal with yourself, what you can solve and what you can't, where you need your master's help, when I need to come in and help you remove that problem so that you can expand and grow until you hit the next block, and then help you solve that problem so that you hit the next level of expansion. This is the only way growth and development, real growth and development, will take place. I hope this gives you a small overview of what happens during a session. Removing external damages of your field structure, starting processes of restoration and improvement, filling the body and the mind with potentials it needs. And in the next video, we'll dive deeper into energy informational damages, disturbances, and the root causes of problems. Stay tuned, friends.